Hey, welcome back to Already Overbooked. It has been a week. So let's jump in and talk about what happened. So starting off with some channel and life updates. Starting with some life on the life side first. It has been a very fun week. We have been going to some graduations, school events. It's the end of the year, so we're doing a lot of that kind of fun stuff with the kids, and then we're trying to plan our summer out. So we have a bunch of projects that the kids want to go through and do. They want to build a boat from scratch, a helicopter. They want to do a bunch of crazy building things up. So we're going to be having a lot of fun doing different summer projects. And then we got sports stuff we're doing as well, and different camps or something for the week. And then I also went through and got a Cricut finally. I know I mentioned that a few weeks ago, but I finally went through and got one, and I am hyped, super excited. Let me see. Maybe we can a little behind the scenes. Looky there. We got the Cricut. So very cool, very excited to go through. I'm currently working on a binding. I did go through and record it. I haven't watched it yet. So if it looks decent, I'll share it so you can kind of see my first bookbinding using a Cricut. So I might do that and share that with you guys. If the quality of the video is not great, I'll just try again on the next book. But very happy with it. It is a little bit of a learning curve going through and learning this new kind of system and how it's set up. But what I like about it is I have the capability to customize. So I still have the pen where I can go through and draw pictures for the books, but now I have capability to print out the words so it doesn't look so crappy, which is awesome. What else is going on from channel updates? My 3-part video series on the Crichtonverse dropped this week, and I am quite happy with the feedback I've received from it. Who's watched it seems to really enjoy it, so that makes me very happy. As I mentioned before the video dropped, I had some other ideas I wanted to go through and do as well if people liked it. But let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious. Do you like this type of video being in 3 different parts, or would you rather just have it one long video? So just let me know so I can be prepared for the next one. All right, let's jump into the next section of what did I read. First, I went through and read 4 books. The first one I went through and finished up was Wraith and the Revolution. Now, this story, I really, really enjoyed it. The story has a lot of symbolism and ideas in this book, wrapped up really in a great story of about revolution and finding your own way. So very fun book. I'm considering about doing a full review on this. Still trying to decide if that's what I want to go through and do with this one, but it was very well written. Highly, highly recommend Wraith and Revolution. The second book I went through and finished, and this one 100% I will be doing a review very soon, was Shadowbane by Cal Logan. Oh my goodness, this book was intense. It was so well done. Cal killed it in this book. Up there for probably one of the best books that I've read this year from a new author. So very excited to go through and talk about Shadowbane probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The next one I went through and read was a novella, The Arbiter's Gift. This was a very quick adventure story. It was pretty decent. I thought it was fun overall. I'm not a huge fan of stories with magical schools, to be honest, but there was a minotaur in this, which was awesome. The last book I went through and read was True Grit. I literally just finished this early this morning, and to be very honest, it is not what I expected. It was well written, but nothing in the story had that wow moment that I was expecting. I think this is a clear example of a book that that's hype and expectation is a lot higher than the actual execution of the book. Was it still well done? Yes. But I think if I went into this with a clean mindset and clean slate rather than all the hype that I've been hearing about how amazing this book was, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. So, a little bit disappointed that it wasn't as great as what I thought it was going to be, but it was still very well booked. So, jumping into what am I reading? I am going to be starting The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I'm doing a buddy read with Chris and Logan, and I think what the game plan for this book is to go through and read each part every single week. So I think there's 4 parts of this book. So we're going to be doing one part, discussing it, going to the second part, discussing it, things like that. And then Chris is going to put it all into one big video, and he's going to go through and toss it out to the world. So very excited to go through and jump into this. But with that being said, I read books pretty fast, and I'm going to have to slow myself down while reading this with Chris and Logan. So I'm probably going to need to find other books to go through and read this month. So, with that being said, I am going to be starting The Man Made of Smoke by Alex North. I got a audio book of this as an ARC. I think it's out already now, but I'm going to be going through and listening to The Man Made of Smoke. But again, I'm going to need some more book ideas. So if you have any recommendations of books that I should be going through and reading this month, now I'm not looking for books that are thousands of pages, but anything 400 pages and less, if you have any recommendations, let me know, because I need something else to go through and read, because The Man Made of Smoke, I'm going to run through that quickly. And yeah, The Devils, I can only read a certain amount. So let me know. Let me know down in the comments. So speaking of other books, so what did I buy, pre-order, or receive as a book mail this week? So for this week, I didn't buy any books. So I only am going to be talking about just one book that I received an art copy of, which is The Bone Raiders by Jackson Ford. So a little bit about what this book's about. It's you don't mess with the ricotta. The people living in the great grass call them the Bone Raiders, from their charming habits of displaying the bones of those they kill on their horses and armor. But being a raider is tough these days. There's a new high chieftain ruling the grass. He's had it with the raider clans and plans to use his sizable military to do something about it. And then there are the fire breathing lizards the size of elephants, one of which happens to turn up in the middle of a raid. We have a scout named Sahana, and in the chaos of the raid gone wrong, she finds herself on the back of one of these beasts. In a panic, she discovers she can steer like a horse with this lizard. And now she has an idea. What if they could train the lizard to act like their mounts? That would even the odds against the high chieftains. This book sounds awesome. Now, I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to go through and read this, but at least that cover looks amazing. It looks sick. Now, jumping into the indie author spotlight. This week, I want to go through and spotlight Dave Lawson. He is the author of Pawns of Havoc. This is a novella that I read recently, and man, it was so good, and it has been living in my head since I finished this book. His writing style is fantastic. His character development is so well done. I am super excited to jump into Envoys of War very soon. I might read that this month. I might read Envoys of War after. Yeah, we might do that. I might read it. Who knows? Maybe next month. But Envoys of War, super excited to go through and read that. So check him out. I will have all of his information down in the description. Go check out his social media, his site, and check out Pawns of Havoc. I promise you, you are not going to be disappointed. For BookTuber Spotlight, I want to go through and highlight an amazing booktuber who has always been kind to me, and that is Pat from Book Chat with Pat. Pat is easily one of the nicest people, not only on BookTube, but in the world. Pat is so awesome. She is my sea shanty friend. We go through and we find each other in live chats and we start singing sea shanty songs together, which is funny. And she's also a retired teacher, which makes The stories that she goes through and reads, which are awesome, she reads amazing books, but her perspective on those books are very insightful. They are Her videos are so much fun to watch because she just gives that teacher perspective into her reviews, which is so cool. So go through Miss Pat is information down in the comments. Go through and check out Pat. She is a rock star. Now, talking about what's happening next week, we have some fun videos coming up next week. Now, it's going to be a shorter week. I'm not going to put as many videos because I want to be working on some bookbinding stuff since I got this Cricut. But Monday, we're going to be throwing out a review of Mercy Tears of the Fallen by Chance Dillon. On Tuesday, we're doing a live with Rowdy from Rowdy Player One. This is a reschedule for us to go through and talk about Empire of Silence. You are not going to want to go through and miss Tuesday's live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I loved this book. Rowdy did not like this book at all. So it is going to be a fantastic conversation and discussion on what I loved about it and what he didn't like about it, and see if we can find any middle ground. Then on Thursday, we're going to be doing another short that's going to be coming out. And then Friday, we have another weekly update. So very fun week, a lot of great books. And let me know down in the comments if there's any books that I should be keeping an eye out for. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know what to do. Till I see you in the next one.